What's going on? It is Coach AJ Lou, and today I'm going to give you a gift, a Christmas gift. This is the single most powerful question that you can use in a sales meeting, period. So when I'm not going to take credit for this. I didn't come up with this. I actually heard it on an episode of the Art of Charm podcast a couple years ago, probably 3 years ago, right? And when I heard it, I thought there's no way that this question could work. I can't ask this in like a real business scenario. And so I sat on it. And at the time, I was an outside sales rep for this packaging company. Long story short, we sold packaging, boxes, tape, all that stuff. But really, we were just a reseller, so I could sell people anything. So I could sell gloves, like food manufacturing gloves. I could sell mops, pads, all that stuff, right? And so I had called on this company, and they were one of the largest food manufacturing plants in Las Vegas, right? Huge company, tons of employees, big, giant facility. And I called on them and I set an appointment with their operations manager. And so I drive to the meeting, and as I'm pulling up, they got this like security camera gate thing with like a camera, and there's like a big red button on it, and there's nothing else. And I pull up and the gate's locked, and I'm like looking at this thing, and I'm like, do I press the button? What do I do? And all of a sudden the lady pops up and says like, what's the purpose of your visit? And I'm like, I have a meeting with your operations manager. I forgot her name, but the lady's name. And the lady on the intercom doesn't even say anything. The gate opens up, and I'm driving through, and I'm like, all right, this is kind of, this is different. And I get up there, I pull in, I walk in, and they have the lobby, right? And the lobby is just this little room, and there's like 3 or 4 chairs, and then there's a big glass panel window, and a lady sitting in the glass panel window, but she has her back to me. And so I walk in, I'm standing there for like 5 minutes. You know how it is if you've ever read the book Pitch Anything, or if you've ever been a sales rep. They set it up to try to make you feel a certain kind of way, right? To put a certain frame on the engagement. But never mind that if you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm standing there for like 5 minutes. She finally flips around in her chair, rolls over. She's like, hey, you're here to see so-and-so? And I'm like, yes. She's like, all right, sign in. Boom, 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 sign in. I go sit down. She's like, give her a couple minutes. She's on a phone call. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm sitting there, da-da-da-da-da. And then finally I get a little buzz. She says, come in, open the door. And it's the second office on your right. I'm like, all right, cool. I walk in, open the door, go in the second office. The lady is literally sitting there with the most stern look on her face, just looking like she's just not in a good mood, right? And I sit down, I introduce myself. Hey, what's going on? My name's AJ from da-da-da-da. Just want to talk to you a little bit about your some of your needs, some of the things that you're using for your business. And she's like, okay. She's like, so what do you guys do? And I start telling her what we do. We can get you gloves, we can get you, mops, all this stuff, all kinds of shit, right? This account was going to be a gold mine for me, to be honest. And so I go in, I'm sitting there, and I just feel like the energy is so poor. And she's like, well, we order most of our stuff from Uline. They do overnight delivery, and da-da-da-da. And she's just talking, and I'm like, I'm trying to bring the energy, I'm trying to feel good, but I could feel her just draining. And she's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, unless you're gonna significantly drop our prices, I'm not gonna change. I'm not looking to change anything. And da-da-da-da, right? And she's giving me that whole treatment of how people treat normal salespeople, right? And I was sitting there, and at the moment I'm sitting there, and I just like, the idea popped in my head like a light bulb. And I'm like, should I say it? Should I ask the question? And literally I'm looking back at this lady who's just talking to me like I'm a freaking cardboard box, right? No emotion, no excitement, nothing. She's just literally spewing just whatever she's saying out of her mouth, right? And I said, I decided, I thought for a second, I decided I'm gonna ask the question. So I say, can I stop you for a second? And she's like, yeah, what's going on? And I said, let me ask you a question. Why are you here? Like, when I ask you that, what I mean is, why do you work here, right? Why do you wake up every morning and come to work? What's your purpose? And she looked at me for a second, and I got super nervous. I was like, oh shit, did I just mess up, right? And she looks at me for a second, and her whole demeanor changes. Her face lights up, her eyes open, and she's freaking all engaged. She's like, man, that's a good question. Nobody really has ever asked me that. And she starts telling me about her son and how he plays baseball and how he loves the Giants, and he's named after one of the guys, and he's loves going to the 51s game and da 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 da. And she starts telling me about her life and how she ended up in Vegas and how she ended up at the job and how long she'd been there and all this stuff, da 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 da. And we literally talked for like 35-40 minutes about her purpose, why she's there, what she's doing, why she's doing what she's doing. And after this long conversation of just hearing everything that she had to say, at the end of it, she says, hey, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm literally gonna print off our invoice from Uline. She prints it off, she gives it to me. She says, even if you can't beat it, but you're close, everything that you can be close on, I'll give you the business. She's like, just shoot me an email. Let me know, what your price is gonna be, and everything that, like I said, if you don't even have to beat it. As long as you're close, you got the business. And I remember I was like, wow, what just happened? What did I just do? And left the appointment, and it worked, man. It worked. Like that account was a freaking monster, and it worked just from asking that question. And so I was like, can this be repeated? And so another customer, I'm not going to tell you the whole story on this one, but I cold called on them, walked in, talked to the lady, set up a meeting, came back for the meeting. At the meeting, sitting there, same kind of thing. She's like, yeah, we use this, we use that, we use this. And I said, hey, let me ask you a question. I asked her the same exact question. What's your purpose, right? Why are you here? What wakes you up in the morning? She goes into a whole thing about her 3 kids, and she's not with their dad, but she has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend's such a good guy and helps her take care of them, and da 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 da. And she says, boom. At the end of the meeting, boom, hey, so here's what we're doing, but I really want to give the business to you because you're such a good person and you're a good guy and you care. And on my next time I order this stuff, I was selling her big old giant things of bubble wrap. She's like, next time I order this, I'm definitely going to call you because you're going to get the business. And I'm like, boom. And literally, I quit my job a few weeks after that. But that lady did call me. She called me like 2 weeks after I quit my job. And she's like, hey, AJ, I was calling to place that order for the bubble wrap. And I'm like, oh, I actually quit. I don't work there anymore. And she's like, okay. I was like, I can have my buddy that still works there. I can have him give you a call and fulfill the order. And she's like, no, the only reason I was going to order from you guys is because of you. So don't even worry about it. And I'm like, wow. And so your gift, your Christmas gift from AJ for 2018 is, if you're ever in a meeting with someone, and I've used this many times since then, but those were the first 2 times, and it was crazy how it worked. Ask the person if you feel that coldness, if you feel the wall in between you guys, right? And it's just getting thicker and thicker. Stop them and say, can I ask you a question? What's your purpose, right? Why are you here? Why do you even do this? And just be amazed at the type of answers and response that you get. I literally had people give me business without even asking another business question the rest of the engagement. It's funny because in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie talks about this lady who goes into a meeting with the guy, and they have a whole long conversation about some other stuff. She never even tells the guy why she's there, and then at the end she finally tells him why she's there, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna place an order, da 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 da, and he places an order and she gets the business. This stuff works, man. It works. And so that's my gift to you guys. Hope you enjoy it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.